So we have another coaching change here in the NHL this year. And, well, folks, Jim Montgomery, the coach who was first fired by the Bruins last week, didn't even last a week of not being employed. He has been hired by the St. Louis Blues, signed to a 5-year contract extension, and the Blues have additionally fired Drew Bannister of his duties after less than 80 games as the head coach. Starting off with Bannister before we get to Montgomery, I do think this is, first off, a good move, but it does suck for Bannister because he didn't even coach 80 games. He didn't. He barely, I wouldn't say he barely got a chance, but the Blues are struggling, and you see a coach out there like Montgomery, you got to shoot on the opportunity. You got to take it, because I don't think if they didn't, I think there's a pretty good chance we see another coach get fired within this coming week, because we're getting to the point where it's Thanksgiving, and yeah, teams need to start winning games if they want to make the playoffs. But when you're looking at Bannister and the Blues, last season he was brought in after Craig Berube was fired. I thought Bannister put up pretty good numbers and, got this team way closer to the playoffs than I actually believed he would have had Berube been behind the job still. I think a lot of that was because of their goalie tandem and some of the pretty good offensive power they had in Kyrou and Thomas. But, apart from that, I thought that Bannister had a pretty good interim campaign, which is why he earned the head coaching role in the offseason. Well, so far this season's been a pretty big disaster, I would say. The goalie tandem that was really good last year has not been good. The Blues have also suffered a lot of injuries, and they've had a few games this year already where they've allowed 8 or more goals. So it has been a brutal start to the year for the St. Louis Blues. I have not really talked about them that much. I talked about them in the power rankings, but never really in a video on its own, because I didn't really know what to expect from them so far this year as it is, and I was going to wait a little bit longer before I made my video, but this is what happens when I do. And going over to Montgomery again, we saw how the Bruins performed this year. They were in a playoff spot, and Montgomery got fired. The standard is high in Boston. The standard, I would say, is much lower in St. Louis. No disrespect to St. Louis. But you look at Montgomery's coaching record. Coached the best regular season team in the history of the NHL. Coached a lot of Bruins teams that did not have particularly great depth and got them to the playoffs. Again, maybe the playoff success really isn't there, but when you're a regular season team who has missed the playoffs since when? 2022? You would think that they would want to get back into the playoffs, and hiring a coach that will get them back in there will do that for you. So I think overall this is a very good hiring. We know that Doug Armstrong loves to be bold, and I think that this is an example of doing that, and I'm not surprised at all, to be honest with you guys. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. Comment your thoughts down below on Montgomery being the brand new coach of the St. Louis Blues. And please subscribe down below if you're new. And that'll do it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.